Coach, you guys are 8 practices into the season. How's it going so far?
So far it's been good. Really, we spent the first 3 days of practice just seeing where our kids were at in physical shape, coming off of Christmas break and them getting kind of a rest time there after our off-season training. We just wanted to see where our kids were at. And so we spent the first 3 days really finding character in our team and finding out how far they would push themselves before they just kind of gave up. And in those first 3 days, we didn't see a kid give up. It might have been hard. It might have took them a while to finish some of our drills, but they got through it. And so we really saw right away the tone was set with our team of just dedication and perseverance through anything. And so this last week of practice has been just awesome with the kids. We've really been able to break down their swings and hitting workouts. And then now the last 3 days of practice, we really started putting in our systems and talking situations and what we want to do with situations. So we're really starting to move ahead fairly quickly here.
So are you guys starting to work on the mechanics and game stuff? Or are you still is it still kind of primarily focused on conditioning?
We've definitely added conditioning into our workouts, but we've really spent this time pounding our fundamentals, footwork in the outfield, how to catch a fly ball, what we want to do after we catch it, just really those little detailed things that when you get to season you just want your kids to go play and not think about. So we spent a lot of time in the last 5 days really pounding that through, and we'll continue to do that through practice all the way up till February. And then once we get to February, then we're really going to start game strategies because then we start playing at the end of February.
Looking at your roster, you only lost one with graduation of Jenna Turner. You added 14, including 11 true freshmen, so there's a lot of new faces that you've added to the during practice and just in the team in general.
That is true, and it's been awesome to see the dynamic. I was a little worried with adding as many kids as we did to our program, but it's exciting to see them because they've all really pushed each other. Our hitting workouts have been awesome, and really the girls have really bought into our philosophy that if you're going to hit, we're going to find you a spot on the field. And so they've really poured time into their hitting workouts. We have this new process that we videotape all our girls during practice, and after practice I upload our videos, and the girls get them right to their computer. And so they have access to everything we do during practice in a matter of an hour and a half after practice. And so they can really start to improve themselves based on what we've done in practice. And so that's really developed a culture of wanting to get in the gym, want to get in the cage, and really put in time outside of practice. And so those 11 newcomers really have added that dynamic of really pushing our returners.
So where are the new 11 in terms of positions? Did you bolster the pitching staff, or are they, is it more for the infield, or kind of what are some of these players that people should look out for this season?
A lot of our focus was coming into this year knowing that we were going to return most of our infield, and we returned our 2 pitchers that started a majority of our games last year. So really our focus was our outfield. Really beefing up our outfield in the sense of getting girls that had the softball smarts to be able to play out there. And I would say out of our 11 girls, 6 of them are outfielders, and really making that a competition out there for them to compete, and the best 3 are going to play because there's only 3 spots for them. So it's really brought a different practice mentality to the girls, but also not this fear of, I don't know if I'm going to play, but I'm going to lay everything out on the line. And so they've really done that through these first few days of practice.
You just mentioned it, but you've got to feel pretty good knowing that you've got your 2 starters back in the circle, and Bailey Bauman and Amanda Walters.
That's the comfort level of this year. This is what's exciting about this team is that last year we got to test the waters with some Northern Sun teams in our transition, and now that we're actually full-fledged members of the NCAA and the Northern Sun, I've got 2 pitchers in the circle that really have 1 year under their belt at this level, and then we still get them for another year. And so really using this year to really set the tone of where the future of our program is going to go after they're gone. And so we really talked to both of them about what is their legacy. What do they want to leave behind so that the next freshman pitcher that comes into our rotation really understands this is what it's going to take to be this number 1.
Looking back at the last season, you guys started, I believe, 10-2 and finished 15-19. So I know I missed the mark in terms of some of the goals you guys wanted to accomplish for the season, and preseason rankings and conference preseason isn't out yet, but kind of early on in the first couple weeks, kind of what are your goals for this team as they get ready to embark on their first conference season in the Northern Sun?
This team has really surprised me with just their determination of wanting to be the best. This team has come in with this hunger for wanting to prove proved themselves that they are softball players and that they can play at this level. And so they've set some very good goals. One of them is their goal is to make the conference tournament. That means we've got to be in the top 10 of the conference to make. So that means we're better than 6 teams. That's going to be a work in itself, but the girls have really set out to prove that they can attain that. The next few things, they want to break the home run record again, and they really want to improve on our batting average. Last year's batting average, really, I would say the reason our season started 10-2 was because of our bats. The reason our season ended 15-19 was our bats, because we just went cold when we came home. And so really the girls have really bought into wanting to make sure our batting average is up where we can compete with the rest of the conference. And so we've done research with the rest of the conference. We've seen what those teams look like and what their team batting averages are. And our team has really set a goal to make sure we improve on that, but also maintain where we need to be in the conference so that we can compete with all of them.
Last question in terms of injuries. Since fall ball, you've had a couple pretty key players been in slings, so kind of what's been going on in terms of injuries for the team?
Yeah, we talk about adding 11 new faces to the team, but it's been a blessing because we've really gone through. We've either lost some kids due to injury or we've been with the flu bug, and so we've had kids missing out of practice. I haven't had the full squad in practice yet due to those two things. Kellen Dewey is coming off of a tear labrum surgery, really progressing really well. She's ahead of schedule. We really expect her to be full-fledged throwing, hitting, without any limitations by the start of February, if not the middle. That would put her competing for a spot in our first weekend out. Then we move down to Janie Brilla. She's our senior. She had a tear in her labrum as well, but it was a lot worse than what we thought going into it. When they got into surgery, it was tore a lot farther, and so we don't know where her scheduled time to come back is. She could be season ending. We're not sure yet. It all depends on how her progression goes. She goes back to the doctor this next week to really get now a timetable of what this looks like. And so we're hoping next week's news is good, that she can at least still come back by maybe middle of the season to at least return with the team and be able to play. Priscilla Quintana, going through some medical things with her as well, and she should be able to be cleared here by, our goal is the 1st of February as well with her, so she can join the team again. And then the rest of the team really is just battling the flu bug that's going around. We're trying to keep the girls away from each other so that they don't catch what each other has right now.
It's not good for team camaraderie, but...
You're right there, but I would rather have girls that can practice than girls that can't. So we've really, if girls are sick, we don't even allow them inside the building because we want our girls to be healthy and make sure that they can participate with what we want in our drills.